All right, guys. Hi, happy Thursday. Welcome back on another episode of Christmas Past versus Christmas Present. And I would love to introduce you to my dear friend and colleague, Mary Phillips. So, Mary, welcome. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah. So, we are going to dive right into it. And I'd love to have you share more of your journey with us. You have been on a crazy big weight loss journey prior to meeting me.
hmm
And I know a lot of what we've been getting through this past season has been not so much weight loss, has it?
No.
Yeah. So tell me, hun, let's start with Christmas past. What did Christmas now I know from coaching you that your biggest struggle is very similar to mine. It's the mental struggle,
hmm
right? And so tell me, what did Christmas past look like for you last year or even years before?
Well, I guess Christmas for me, the biggest day always has been Christmas Eve. Because in my family, it's gone down generations. We don't really do much for Christmas, but even as a child, we opened presents on Christmas Eve. We had cookies and fudge and chips and, you know, kind of everything.
Yeah.
All the goodies. So Christmas Eve has always just been more of my Christmas, and Christmas Day is kind of just more of a relaxing day.
Yeah. Okay. So Christmas is very just like whatever goes, goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. How did you feel like energy wise, mentally? Did you have brain fog or what was that like physically on your body?
Oh yeah, lots of brain fog, lots of I mean excitement. I especially think of as a child. Of course, there's excitement different for children usually
Yeah.
than adults. But yeah, just and then the guilt of I've just eaten a pound of fudge to myself and nobody else got a single piece of that because fudge has always been my favorite.
Yeah.
um but yeah, just a lot of, and then just feeling yucky afterwards, I guess, like just you know
Mm-hmm.
and always waiting for the new year to get back.
Oh, now that's a key.
Yeah,
So you were always so from what I understood from that is that you would just go all out because no rules apply at
yeah.
holidays, right? I think a lot of us can relate to that.
Oh yeah.
Um, that's why we sit down and we just gorge our bodies and just eat all the things that taste good because there's no
hmm
rules. It's holiday calories, right?
yeah.
And then you would look forward to saying, oh, well, the first is just around the corner. It's a new start, and I'll just get back on the track on the first. And
hmm
in the meantime, you shared with us that you would feel sluggish and just not all there mentally, and brain fog and no energy. And how did that impact your family?
um I mean, I'm a lot more short tempered with my boys when I've had a lot of sugar and just junk food that, my body isn't processing well. So more short tempered with the family. And obviously, if I'm more tired, it's harder to really go and do things with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it definitely affects just, I guess, activity level and attitude.
Okay. Gotcha. So tell me a little bit about the interim. Now we started working together earlier this year,
hmm
and where were you at with your health journey at that point?
So, back in January, I talked to you first in January of this year. And we had just gotten through the holidays, of course,
Got a little routine going on.
Yeah, I know, right? And when I heard about health coaching and everything, I had already lost 150 pounds, and I think in my head, it was, I know what I'm doing. I've done this. I can do this by myself because, of course, I had done so much of it by myself. I did have some help in the beginning with a trainer, a personal trainer, more on the fitness side. He did give me a diet. I definitely wouldn't say it was the healthiest way to lose weight, and so I won't go into that.
Right.
But I'm still very, very grateful for him. But besides that, I was on my own. I mean, even when I first started losing, I was 320 pounds. And when I first
Wow.
started losing that weight, um, my husband, even at the time, was still eating ice cream right beside me. But I just had to stay strong. And then I think over the years, because that was almost 12 years ago that
Okay.
I began that journey. And then I kind of got down to this comfortable weight that, hey, I can still eat kind of what I want to a point, and I can maintain it here and whatever. Well, and then I had kids and all of that happened, but then I just knew I wasn't happy. So
Mm.
I just, I don't know, I still wasn't at an ideal weight, more
The
so healthy,
destination.
feeling, yes, I guess having
Yeah.
control over food, no longer waking up in the morning going, okay, what am I going to eat today? And it just kind of thinking about food all day, which
Wow.
I know sounds crazy, but it is.
It's a
So,
real thing. It's a
yeah,
real thing, right?
yeah.
And that I like to call things what they are. I mean, that's a food addict. When
Hmm.
all you think of is whatever the thing is, you're addicted to it,
Yeah.
right? And there's different addictions for everything, and I know I face my own demons in that. I can get hyper focused on one thing and that's all I want to think about all day. So it's really important to my mental well-being to learn how to filter my thoughts and
Yeah.
boss my thoughts. And that's hard. It's hard to
Yeah.
do that. Um, so you reach out to me because it's again January and it's time for a fresh start and you want to get
Hmm.
past this plateau that you've been in.
Hmm.
How many years were you in this plateau?
For 4 years.
Yeah.
It was pretty much after having my second son. I sat, and it's, I mean, it's not a horrible weight. It was just a little bit higher on the BMI side, like
Mhm.
maybe a 27 or a 28. It definitely
Ah,
wasn't like what I used to be, but it
right.
was still just that little bit that I just, and then everybody kept trying to tell me, oh, you just look happy and healthy.
Oh my
Well,
goodness, yes.
yep, always heard that one.
Yeah.
Or they would try to say, that's just where your body is
Hmm.
happy at,
Yep.
and it just, I actually had gone to an extreme of working out 15, 16 hours a week, and the weight was still not coming off, which, don't get me wrong, I love to work out, so it's not a
Right.
problem working out. But at the same time, I was getting obsessive trying to, but obviously I was overcompensating somewhere, doing something wrong, because the weight still was not
Yeah.
coming off,
So the
so
exercise wasn't fixing the plateau.
no, but I
Right.
think because I was still focusing so much on the food, I can be a closet eater.
Hmm.
So going into the closet, and those calories don't count, just like the
Right.
holidays.
I love it. And so share with me now. Now you've been on your health journey for a while and you did reach a really important
Hmm.
number on a scale. But then what happened?
Yeah, so I, just to put it out there, I from the beginning, when I was 320 pounds, my goal was 150 pounds. I
Mhm.
had never reached that goal. I reached it for a short time while I was nursing my oldest son, but as soon as I stopped nursing, the weight came back on, like that extra 15, 20 pounds. So it's not a huge, but so when I started working with you, I actually got down to, I believe the lowest was around 148, and I was
Yep.
super excited. My body fat percentage was down to 22%, which is huge for me, especially as a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Um, like
Because
I go to watch,
you are actually a trainer.
yeah, yes, and so I
Yeah.
do watch like body fat percentage and stuff, because that really, can mean a lot more than what the scale says.
Correct.
So anyways, I had done amazing, I guess, but then life happened, and I started letting some of those old habits come in.
Yeah.
And I remember at one point when I was telling you, because it'd just be like, day one is tomorrow, day one is tomorrow, I'm sure you got tired of hearing that, but um, and then
Well, I
you
was
told
like, okay, if you say so, I'm gonna hold you to it.
I know you called me a stubborn teenager at
I
one
did.
point.
Yep.
And I keep hearing that in my head, because that's really what I have been doing. Is I know what I should eat. I know what I should be doing. I just don't care. I'm just going to do what I want to do. And honestly, it's not worth it. None of
You and
like
me are so much alike in that. I mean, I can be a complete rebellious teenager too, even to this day. And I know that I dealt with some of that during your time frame too, because we both went through crazy moves with changing houses,
mm-hmm.
changing cities. I mean, all the things and quarantine, you know,
Yeah.
and
What's
and the
funny is
stress of life got us.
I
Yeah,
did mine during quarantine and I lost that during quarantine. I was so happy. And then we came out of quarantine and I start
yeah,
messing up. But yeah, I know it's been 2 moves this year for me. And then I know you had a move and
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
but
yeah,
I want to get past that, my mindset past that even when life does happen, I don't go and run back to the old habits, you
yeah.
know?
That's the key. And you guys there, if you're listening to this and you're friends with either one of us, you're understanding where we're coming from on this.
Mhm.
Our health is not about perfection. Mary, what you're sharing is not about perfection. I love that you have struggled. I love that you do. I love that I do because it makes us real, And I think a lot of people out here that are listening to us can relate to our stories. And and I love that regardless of what happens, regardless of what life is throwing at us, life's not happening to us, right? It's
Mhm.
happening for us. But how we project these thoughts on life, whether it's 2 or 4, is based on how we're interpreting it in our head
Mhm.
and what the story is that we're telling ourselves. So you told me this week that you're done being a rebellious, stubborn teenager. That
Yeah.
is not your identity. And I know that once you make that intrinsic fundamental decision, that nothing out there can stop you. I know
Mhm.
this. And it doesn't even matter that some of the things that have happened have led to gaining back some of our weight that we've lost. The
Yeah.
fact is that we got to work on this in order to make any of this even count,
Mhm.
right? Because I'll tell you, my biggest struggle is hearing the word thin or hearing the word skinny, because for me, those are terms of abuse.
Mhm.
So I see it differently than other people do. I want to be healthy and thriving. So that's where I have to watch my story. So you've been on an 11, 12-year weight loss journey. This year, you got to your goal. Life happened. You chose a different path for a little bit. But I love is because you never quit connecting.
Yeah.
You were still there. You were still diving in the community. You were still listening in and being coachable, you know. And I think that if it wasn't for all those tools,
Oh no.
would you have just stopped at 20?
No, probably not.
Oh,
I mean, I do have a sticking like I have this, and this has kind of happened through all this. It's I have a point that I reach this one weight and I'm like, okay, I'm done. Nope, 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 not going any higher just because I'm so afraid of going back to where it is. But what's different now is I don't have to do it alone.
yeah.
There's a lot of people, in the group that we're in, and there's you and there's Donnie, and so I have people that I can lean on, even if I'm sure they're in there. You might be at home like rolling your eyes when you read my message, but you don't show that to me. So
No, I love you too much, and that's the thing is like, what I love about our team approach with coaching to health is that you have people who are not just cheerleaders, but we're in the trenches. We're fighting the war with you on your health, and we're speaking truth into you when your mind is telling you a story. It's like, oh my word, is this X amount of weight, is it really healthy? Because the
yeah.
world out there is challenging our story, is challenging our thoughts, is getting us to believe the deceiving lies that they believe that says, hey, you've lost enough weight. You're getting too
Mhm.
thin. All these things that come at us. It's like, wait a second. You don't get to decide what's healthy for me. I choose that, you know.
Well, and it goes so far beyond weight loss. Like I've had a few people in the past, they're like, you're so focused on weight and your
Mm,
looks. That's what I've heard.
the looks, the
And I
vanity.
don't know if it
Yeah.
was just out of anger at themselves they had said it or what, but um but I'm like, it's so, people don't understand that it's so much beyond that. And I'm sure some that are out there listening to this right now can understand that when I was 320 pounds, I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs without resting in between. And I was
Right.
21 years old, you know, and they don't understand the mindset that was behind like thinking about food constantly. Okay, where can I sneak this in or whatever? I mean, it's an addiction. And so overcoming that, and it takes a long time to overcome it.
Mhm.
And you may have
Mhm.
times just like I did this year where I did completely overcome that, which
Yeah.
it felt so amazing because I wasn't sitting there thinking about what was for food or anything unless I was planning the meals for the week, you know.
Right.
But besides that, I wasn't just thinking about food. I was just enjoying time with people if I was at parties or whatever. Whereas,
Oh,
you know, so I guess it's beyond just the weight loss, beyond just the looks, you
yeah,
know, it's, I
it
mean,
is.
definitely an added bonus, but
Right. I mean, that's a perk, you know,
yeah,
looking good is really fun. All right. I'm not gonna lie. And I
yeah, it
like
is.
dressing up and showing off and things like that. And I do it because mentally I feel more confident. And when
Mm-hmm.
I'm confident, I'm more present. When I'm more
Yeah.
present, everybody else wins. It's not just about me.
Yep.
And so, you know, and you told me it's like, you know, you want optimal health. And optimal health isn't just about a number on a scale. It's about healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances. And
Yeah.
so tell me, Mary, for Christmas, it's tomorrow already. What's it bringing to you this year?
Um, well, health for one.
Mhm.
I plan on eating completely healthy tomorrow. I did not even make any fudge or anything.
Way to go!
um, my mom was actually texting me on that earlier today because she knows, and I was like, "Nope, I didn't make it." She's like, "I got a new recipe that's only 2 ingredients, and it's so easy." And I'm like, "No, no, not doing it."
No, that's the drug. Keep the cocaine out of the
Yeah.
house. You know?
But that, and then we're just focused. Of course, this year's different for everybody. I mean, we
Yeah,
moved away from our family last year, anyways. We moved across the country. So we don't have family around, even without, you know, everything going on with COVID and stuff this year. But we actually have some friends that we're just going to go around and Christmas carol with around the neighborhood. And then we're just going to go for a hike, kind of a few things outside with them, just to keep them more
wonderful.
safe and just reaching out to others. So actually, there's no focus on food whatsoever tomorrow. Of course, my kids are dying to open the presents,
Of
but
course.
they're little boys. So, but yeah, so that's actually what my Christmas has to do with tomorrow.
Wow. And you know, I'm one of those people that I love to do things for other people. And that relates greatly to me because I'm like, oh my word, you're out there developing memories, and memories last a
Mhm.
lot more than food.
Yeah.
You have your memories for your life, and food you'll be lucky to remember tomorrow.
I know.
And I love that you get to involve your entire family in this. It's you know safe practice doing this type of stuff, and you still make an impact on other people's lives. And it's not about food, and I love that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
way to go, girl. And that guys, that's a pro tip. Do things that don't involve food. That's a pro tip.
Yeah.
So awesome. I love how you share that your struggle has become your gift, that you are using it to motivate and propel you forward, not to hold you back any longer. And I just know that you are going to rock your health long-term goals and just live your life full out. I love it.
Yes.
You have any other thoughts or tips before we end the call?
I guess my last one would be don't wait for the new year.
Mhm.
Everybody says, oh, the 1st of January. And we kind of have an ongoing joke in gyms. Sorry for you newbies. But like the gym I used to work out at 5 a.m. in Michigan. Miss my fit family back there. But anyways, we always would sit there and we would pick out the people who's gonna last more than 2 weeks. And we did, because all of a sudden 5 a.m. would have 7 to 10 of us. We were just like, we always were there, you know? And then all of a sudden the first comes and our class is just filled and filled with people. And then they slowly trickle out. And it's not our place to judge, but at the same time, like, don't wait for a new year. One thing I remember that I'll never forget is when I first started working out with my personal trainer, he had not made me pay yet. And I went to my husband and I was in tears. I mean, he probably didn't even make me do that much, but at that weight, it was a huge deal when I had never really moved before. And
Wow.
I'm like, I'm not going to go back. And he said, if you don't do it now, when will you ever do it? And so that's kind of my challenge to people is you can't just keep waiting and waiting and waiting
Yep.
because it's never going to come. So you
Yep.
have to do it now.
Procrastinators never get to the finish line.
Yep.
Yep. Awesome. Well, I love your story. And please keep us posted on how you're doing. I know the whole entire circle that's watching this now is excited to see your journey unfold and get some encouragement and inspiration from you. And guys, if you know Mary and you want to do this journey with her so that you can also rock your life, please don't hesitate to contact her today and invite your friends. We have this beautiful community on Facebook called the Hope and Health Community, and it's open for everyone. And it's an amazing, vibrant life community. You probably seen me share earlier yesterday about it. But awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us, Mary. It's a pleasure to work with you, and I love you as a friend. And can't wait to talk to you later.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.